I'm I'm a pretty big dude.
That's true. Well, we're about the same
I'm
height, I'd say, more or less.
same height, but I'm like at least I've got like 10, 15 pounds on you
You got a
at the
belly.
minimum. Ah, yeah. Welcome to another week of Utterly Geek. We've got myself, Darren Bell, and then we've got Chris Walsick.
Yep. Hello.
Steve is
Away.
away this week and probably next. I believe he's gone for 2 weeks. If not, it might be a happy surprise. He'll be back next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, uh, let me start with what I've been playing because what you've been playing is far more interesting.
A lot. Like a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. Uh, I've been playing Dark Souls for the first time.
Oh, so you've been continuing.
Yeah, I'm about a couple hours into it. I've found one bonfire, and
Okay.
I've fought. I think it's a. So it's difficult for me to determine if it's a giant boss or a mini boss. But the guy up on top of one of the parapets, he looks a lot like the thing that you fight in the tutorial level before you get to Firelink Shrine.
Oh.
He's up on the castle wall.
Yeah.
The first time I found him, I was a fucking idiot and just charged at it, and it just swatted me off. I'm like,
Well,
"What?"
welcome to Dark Souls. Charging at things is a
Shit.
bad idea.
Yeah, yeah. So back up and just drop from the top a couple of times onto him. Took care of that one.
Oh, yes,
But
yes, yes. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what you're
yeah,
supposed to do.
yeah. And then afterwards, you end up finding the dragon.
Oh God, yeah. On
That
the
I'm like,
bridge.
I'm just gonna go under the bridge.
Yes.
So I went under the bridge, and I got poisoned, and I was panicking, trying to find what I hoped was a bonfire right around the corner because it felt like there needed to be one somewhere.
Nope.
I ran into a real big thing, and it just fucking slaughtered me. So
Yep.
now I'm going back and trying different pathways.
No, you're actually you are actually on the right path.
I
Just don't get
found
poisoned.
I found another one of those big fuckers
Okay.
right next to my current bonfire, so I'm kind of grinding that one to try to figure out how to time them
Yeah.
because that one's a lot closer, and I have a lot more Estus flasks when I get to him.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, the game is punishing, but I don't. I'm rethinking my earlier statements I've made on the game
Yeah.
because yes, it's punishing, but
It's fair.
yeah,
It's fair.
to a point, it's fair.
Because if you make mistakes and you get like absolutely slaughtered, it's mostly just because you just didn't time it right or you didn't
Or you're just
understand.
trying to rush.
Yeah, exactly.
But how it just quickly introduces brand new things to you,
Hmm.
j- like it doesn't ease you in. The whole thing with the rats and poisoning, before I knew what was going on, I was immediately completely poisoned
Yeah.
and had no chance of survival.
Right.
So it's like, I don't think that's 100% fair. But it's the nature of the game.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
when you die, you're not really set back as far as it feels like you could be.
No, it's like it's right because it's right under the bridge, that bonfire, so it's pretty close. So that's why if you once you die in that location, it's like okay, I'm not too far.
I did not have a bonfire under the bridge. That's what I'm saying. I lost all of that experience from killing that boss
Oh,
and all of that humanity.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember where that. Oh, I know where that bonfire is. Okay, yeah. What you had to do was
I found the Praise the Sun guy,
okay, nice.
but
Yeah, it's around that area. There's a ladder that you kick down, and it leads to the bonfire that's in that whole like rooftop castle area where like all the other zombies are that you fight your way through that maze.
I
It was where you
talking
said
about
it was where you said you were. That was like the first like real bonfire that was beyond
Firelink.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I'm in Undeadburg in that one.
yeah. There's basically a ladder that you kick down and it goes right to there, and then from that bonfire that leads you up to the bridge to where
Yeah.
that dragon is. So basically, all you had to do was
Uh,
just go into the other room that kicked the ladder down, and then activate that bonfire, and you would have been fine.
fuck.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about that game too. Is like, it's you want to explore, but it's difficult because you're running a risk of like, oh shit, where's the next
Yeah.
bonfire?
Yeah, and there's like zero indication of where those will be, and I'm not counting that against it. That's that game.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is frustrating to a point, but I don't know. I'll give it a shot. I'm not gonna give up on it yet, but
Yeah, you're making progress, which is actually
not a lot.
well, hey, even a little bit, like it's still something. That's how I felt with Bloodborne for the last I don't know month when I was playing it, because I really didn't feel like I was making large strides like I was months before it. But then once I was in the last area, I was like, okay, even if I just make it to the next area safely, then that's a win for me.
Right. I really don't like the fact that it does straight up lie to you right out of the gate, though.
How so?
When it's like, oh, pick one of these things to come into the game with you, and I pick the ring that's like, oh, this gives you slight health regeneration. I'm like, that's cool. And then you
Hmm.
get in the game and it actually says, oh, it gives you slight boost to overall health.
Yeah,
That's not cool. No, that's
yeah.
I
No, I
don't
agree.
fucking care who you are. That's not a feature.
Right.
The rest of the game is learning and figuring it out, and that I'm okay with. That is straight up lying to your face.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't fly.
I think that's the only time that game really does that, because there's nothing else where I came across where I found
If
an
that
item
is, that's
and
real shitty.
yeah, especially considering it's right out of the game, like
It's in
right
the
at the beginning.
character creator.
Yeah,
Oh man, it's super shitty.
yeah,
But yeah, I've played that. I'm playing through Life is Strange again,
hmm,
and so many different decisions are being made, and it's leading to very interesting conversations.
yeah.
But I also reformatted my whole PC over the weekend.
Oh God.
Grand Theft Auto 5 works now, though.
On the plus side, at least it works
on
out.
on the plus side, and just as a system, my computer works a lot better now.
Yeah,
I need to double check my other webcam. I'm still running off my backup webcam, which still the video quality looks improved over last week.
yeah.
So that's about it for. Oh wait, no, I have been playing the Twilight Princess Picross that you can get through my Nintendo rewards.
Okay.
I've never played a Picross game. Fuck, those games are puzzly addicting.
Ah, okay.
They're good little puzzlers.
I didn't even know there was one.
For Twilight Princess, yes, and you can only get it through my Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
You have to have 1,000 silver coins. Very easy to do.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
So tell me, what happens when you go into Overwatch?
Oh my
Tell me
God.
about Overwatch. Tell me about Overwatch.
Oh God. I mean, I
Because you
should,
got into the closed beta.
well, hold on. Should I talk about the other two betas so that way it's done and out of the
Yeah,
way?
let's get rid of the other two that I've never had time to play. Let's just get those out of the way.
Okay. So there was also the Battleborn and Doom betas that were going on this weekend,
Mhm.
open betas, and the first one I played, I didn't even actually play the Doom beta first. I played the Battleborn first. I actually played it with three other friends of mine, and we did the two co-op campaigns, which were available, and then they had their multiplayer, which was very much like a MOBA, like but first person. The co-op is interesting because the character you can play as you select before you start the mission, and you start at level 1. So then as the mission goes on, you basically level that character up and you get your abilities and all that. It's very much like Borderlands, where you have like somewhat of a skill tree, but you only have 2 options. But as you level up, if you keep playing the character that you're playing as, you level that character up, and then you can your skill tree kind of gets like a 3rd slot in certain areas and certain levels.
Okay.
So that's a neat little twist where it's kind of like it adds a little bit of replayability, or gives you a reason to continue to keep playing certain characters, other than just, I don't know, because you want to. There's actually a little added bonus to it, so I thought that was kind of nice. But yeah, we played the 2 missions, and there's some people that said, you know, reading and watching some of the reviews of it, that they said that it's hard to get into the story of, because there is actual story that is going on in the campaigns, but the problem is that because they're so short, with being like short missions and you only level up your character during that time, it's like there's not enough time to really get involved with the characters and get involved with what the hell is going on with the world. You're just kind of like, whatever. I mean, and you just kind of move on from it.
Without persistent growth like that, I'd imagine that would be very difficult.
Yeah. So
to build a narrative.
Yeah. For some people, they might not like it, but for me, it was kind of just like, I'm just playing as this character, and I want to learn how to play as this character and what they're capable of, and
certainly.
And I want to try them out. That's basically how I felt while playing it. So.
Certainly, but the way that I'm hearing it and the way I've heard it compared to a lot is, what is it? It's Team Fortress 2 Man vs. Machine.
Yeah.
In that,
well, that's the multiplayer. It's very much like that. But
no, I mean the the cooperative in Man vs. Machine. It's wave based, horde based, but you do have those types of abilities that you unlock and you build up depending on what weapons in your loadout.
Yeah.
But those are not persistent, so you can't go through one MVM run and then go into the next one with the same level of shit.
Yeah.
So to me that sounds similar, but is it wave based or is it?
No, you actually do go from like point A to point B, and there's objectives, and you have to like unlock areas or find the key to area or whatever, or defeat a boss or mini boss or whatever to get to the next area.
Okay.
So there is a sense of progression from going from one point to another, and it is very linear. You know, and there's checkpoints, there's respawns, and if there's like a pool of lives that everyone has, and if you're downed, someone has to come and revive you, and if you choose to respawn, or if they don't come back in time, then it takes a life out of that pool.
So it's Little Big Planet, the first person shooter.
Yes, basically, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so there is a little sense of dread and urgency on not dying in that game.
I like that.
Yeah, so that's a neat little thing that they had. So we did the 2 co-op missions, and then we did 1 round of multiplayer where we got absolutely crushed and we got snowballed so fucking hard, and that was it. We basically moved on to other games. So overall, and the thing is that one of my friends kept saying while we were playing the co-op, he said, "Why would I want to be playing this when I've got Borderlands and could be playing with you guys?" And it's something that actually has a more interesting story. Now, I feel that that's a little harsh to say, considering 1's a beta and 2, it's only got 2 levels, but I can understand what he meant, because it like, I don't know, it just, with Borderlands, you kind of were already interested in the characters as to what was going on.
It sounds like it's hitting the same kind of ticks, the same kind of boxes that Borderlands would be, but it's trying to do something different with it.
Yeah.
I didn't touch it. I did download it, and I launched it. But then I was like, I really should wipe my machine.
Yeah.
And so I ended up doing that instead. But
Right.
it's it it's a game that has me curious. I wouldn't say it has piqued my interest,
Right.
but it certainly has me curious.
Yeah, I would not want to pay it full price.
That
Like,
is coming out at 60, right?
yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I mean that's the thing that it's Battleborn's being compared to Overwatch, but they kind of can't be because Battleborn has that co-op PvE
Right.
and has an actual like story and events and like going from point A to point B to point C. But even with what I played at the beta, I wasn't convinced of just being like, oh yeah, this game is like totally worth my full $60. Not that it really was on my radar, but it was something where it's kind of like, all right, I'll give it a try and see how it is. So, but after playing it, yeah, I can't say I'm totally sold on it, even with the multiplayer.
Yeah. And
Um,
I can kind of agree with that.
yeah. So there's that, and then I've been doing the Doom multiplayer. I got to the max level, which is level 15 in that in the Doom
How long did
multiplayer.
that take to get to max?
Not long, really not long. I would say I think I played it for 3 or 4 hours total,
Okay.
and it's so weird because there's some things that people have said that I totally agree with, where it's having an identity crisis. The Doom multiplayer is having an identity crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, it wants to be an arena shooter, which is the big thing that ID has been pushing as part of its marketing for the multiplayer. But at the same time, there's things that's like that console shooters have, like loadouts and perks um, and similar to Titanfall, where you had the cards or whatever that you would use in that one life or whatever, but except it's on a timer instead of like just a one and done kind of thing.
Right.
But they have all that, and it's not so much similar to the old Doom where you could run around the map and then just find the weapons on the map and remember where they are and then use
Right.
those at any time. And you could only carry two weapons at a time during your loadout.
See, for me, I didn't really get into multiplayer shooters until the N64. So like to me, Doom was never multiplayer anyway.
Yeah,
That was not where I went to for that.
right.
I mean, even Marathon, Halo, those weren't really multiplayer for me until much later playing
Right.
games.
Yeah, it
So,
wasn't for me either because I played Doom 1 and 2 through the single player.
right. And so I think, yeah, it totally would be having a problem. And mentally, I keep confusing it with Quake
Yeah, which a lot of
because
people are comparing it to Quake, but Quake is doing its own thing and it's doing a free to play and
Quake
apparently
3 was one of the tightest arena shooters ever created.
yeah.
And who owns the Quake license now? I think
Um
that's still it, right? Which would be Bethesda
n-
now.
no.
Who owns Quake?
I
Who
want to say
owns?
Epic. Epic Games does. They did ever since Unreal Tournament 3. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Wait, no, no, they
Not Epic
didn't.
Games?
Since you're throwing just different names out there. Since Unreal Tournament, they owned Quake. That doesn't line up at all. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's Bethesda Softworks publishes it, so it's id.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I could have.
So, hmm, I think it would be much more beneficial for them to do that. You know, you leverage Doom as your big, bombastic single player gore fest, and then you put Quake more at the front as your arena shooter.
Yeah.
Like you have Doom. Well, maybe that's what they're trying to do. You have Doom lined up to be the console shooter that you want to compete with your Call of Duties and shit.
Well, here's the thing, which I
Oh
found
God.
out today, apparently, that
Oh
for the multiplayer, it was actually outsourced for Doom.
no.
And it was outsourced to ex Bungie employees. I don't remember the name of the company that had done the Halo multiplayer, so that's why it was outsourced.
Sense.
So there you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's why it feels like totally different, and that's why a lot of people were saying, "Why does it seem like Halo?" Well, that's because it's an ex Bungie
That's because
employee that was working on it.
it's because that's what they know how to make.
Yeah,
So they make it.
yeah. So
Oh. Okay. Still hopeful for Doom to be a decent product as a single player experience.
yeah, and it's funny because
Oh
after
man.
after this weekend of playing the multiplayer, I keep thinking about the theory that we've had of have single player and multiplayer sold separately because I will gladly buy the single player of Doom in a fucking heartbeat. But like the multiplayer, I'll just be like, I'll eventually think about it someday if I ever want to play Doom, Call of Doom.
Yeah. I don't think you will ever see
No,
any company do that.
no,
But we can hope.
yeah.
And we're getting closer to it. I mean, wasn't the last Call of Duty, wasn't the zombies mode a separate game? There was a separate zombies thing that was standalone.
Yeah, because there's the at least with Black Ops 3 or in general
Yeah.
the Black Ops franchise. Actually, I would say they've always had the zombie mode, and that was always separate. That was like the third mode that they had, and it's actually the most well received mode, which is kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe it's just because people playing COD love the wave based survival horde mode of Call of Duty. I don't know.
There are people who just prefer that mode over top of anything.
Oh yeah.
So, sure.
Yeah, I've played it a few times and I couldn't understand it, so I was like, okay, whatever, cool. If people are happy about it, then whatever.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, that's how I felt about it. It's there's some things I like and there's some things I don't like. I think it's pretty well paced. I think it was still pretty fun, but it wasn't like, oh my god, fucking, I want to play this multiplayer when I get Doom kind of thing.
Right. Right.
Or once I'm done with the single player. Like there was nothing, no, none of that. However, the one game that it was like, holy shit, oh my god, was
Super jealous, by the way.
fucking,
Super jealous.
oh my god, was fucking Overwatch. Jesus Christ, oh my god, I'm fucking like foaming at the mouth after playing that game all weekend long.
Jesus.
Oh god, it's gonna be the new TF2 for me because I'm gonna be plugging fucking 700 hours into that game
Yep.
because Jesus God, that game's so fucking good.
Yep.
And it's funny because I didn't. It's not that I didn't believe the hype. It was more of like I'm highly interested. It's on my radar. Once I have it in my hands, then I'll. Once the open beta happened, once I actually got to play it for myself, then I'll decide.
Uh, correct yourself. It was not an open beta.
Right, not this past weekend, but I'm saying before the
It
invite
was
came.
not an open beta. We all thought it
Yeah,
was.
no, I know. I thought it was too.
It's not.
It was not. It was another invite. They were doing another test, stress test. Um, but that being said, I got the invite for this past weekend. I was just gonna leave my opinion for it for when we played the open beta together and all that. But I mean, I guess it's still kind of the same thing. It's exactly what happened. I just got an invite instead.
Yeah.
because oh god, damn it. Yeah, I want to plug in so many fucking hours. The only problem is that with the hours that you put in for the closed beta and the open beta, it does not carry over once the game is released. So
Of
you're
course.
yeah,
It shouldn't.
right. Yeah, I was a little bummed because there are some things I unlocked that I got in my loot box, which I was all excited about. But
So explain that.
all
Explain
right,
that because this is a $60 thing. The hell's the loot box? How,
so
how?
the game by itself is $40. The $60 is if you buy the complete their origins pack, which includes multiple skins for like several characters. You get things for Diablo, basically all the other Blizzard games. You basically get Overwatch stuff. So so basically, the base game is $40. And the way that the loot box works is you get it every time you level up, like your account, and you can get that just by playing the game. And I don't think you get it through challenges. It's not like COD where you have to do a certain amount of challenges to complete and you get additional XP or whatever. It's just basically straight up playing the game, how well you do, whatever during that entire game. It'll go into your level, and every time you level up, you get a loot box. You open up the loot box, and there are 4 items that come out of it, and it could range from a common to a legendary for drops, and those are purely aesthetic. There's nothing that affects gameplay by any means. They're either skins, different voices that your character can say, different poses, victory animations. It's all just
Aesthetics.
yeah, it's all aesthetics
Okay.
entirely. So that's just basically how it works. All you get it every time your account levels up. So it's pretty like your first 8 or 9 levels is like you're getting loot boxes pretty quickly, but then you got to play more and more, grind more to
Gotcha.
get to the next one. But I really found myself just suddenly realizing, because I just was so engrossed in just playing it so much, that it suddenly would be like, oh hey, you have a loot box, you're level this now, and I'm like, shit, when did this happen? Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was purely paying attention to just playing the fucking game. So, and I think that's just good. It's not so much. It's not like Call of Duty or I guess just Call of Duty, where it's like you have to grind to unlock a certain gun or skin or whatever the hell you want for your character or your gun model or whatever. It's basically just play the goddamn game. This is just fluff, extra fluff, and that's it.
So do they have other gun models? Is that the thing or
No, it's mostly just skins for the character.
okay. And you don't have to worry about different loadouts or different weapons like what they ended up doing with TF2.
Nope, it's just what guns you're given is what guns you're given.
Mm.
So it's all everyone's on the same ground. They of course have been tweaking things of certain characters and just like little minor tweaks, much like how TF2 did, where it's just
Yeah.
small little adjustments so that way it was a little more balanced between everyone. I still think there's some things that they need to fix, like fucking Bastion, who is the robot who can turn into a stationary turret. I feel like his transition time is a little too fast.
I'm watching a video right now of it. It's pretty instant.
Yeah, yeah. Because there's some instances where I've been killed by him, and I would see the kill cam, which you can turn off, by the way, which is I recommend, because
Ooh.
I was actually getting more frustrated with actually seeing the kill cam. But as soon as I turned that off, I was like, oh, okay, I feel way more relaxed now for some reason.
I feel like
Yeah, like I don't know, like I just was.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, because you get so frustrated. You're like, how the fuck did I die? And then you see some asshole, and you're like, oh, well, I gotta fucking hunt that bastard down. And then if you get killed by him again, you just get more and more frustrated. So, but yeah, as soon as I turned that thing off, I was like, okay, now I can actually play this game. But yeah, like I noticed that so many times where he can easily just sit and in a spot, mow down like 4 or 5 people, get up, and within like 5 seconds reposition himself like easily, and then be ready again to fire away. So I feel like if it was something, because I think it's like a second or two for him to transition. I feel like if it was something more of like 4 or 5 seconds, then that would be fine because of how strong his minigun is. It would, I think it would justify with it being 4 or 5 seconds at least.
So, question for you: this isn't like a MOBA where you're locked out of picking one character. Can your team be all the same character?
Yes, correct. And
So,
you can switch anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not like a rotating pool. Every character is available every round.
Yep, correct. Yep, you have all.
Oh,
Yep.
God
Yep.
damn it.
Yep. Now you know. And here's the beautiful thing. Ready? Okay, you ready? You
God
ready?
damn it.
Here's something that TF2 didn't do. You ready, Darren? You ready?
Yeah,
You ready?
yeah.
So when you're in the selecting the hero phase, when you're in that phase, it will tell you on the lower right-hand corner
Your
missing.
team loadout.
It tells you you're missing a support. You're missing. There are too many snipers. It's too aggressive. Too much defense. Like the game tells you how to balance out your team. Yeah, I know. If you're really hesitant, just wait. It's only 2 weeks away.
Listen, I'm not hesitant at all. I'm super jealous that you got to play.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, fine.
I've been super amped about Overwatch. I really have been.
Yeah.
Some of the characters just really, some character designs I really don't like, but overall I like the look of the game.
Yeah.
Just some characters don't look like they belong in the same universe. Like I'm looking at Roadhog. You put Roadhog next to Tracer or Killborn. Roadhog's this big giant, like almost a cartoonish Mad Max-ish character.
Yeah. I love Roadhog, by the way. I fucking played him so much. He's so awesome.
But Tracer looks like something straight out of like the Rocketeer.
Right.
And then Killborn looks like he belongs in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's definitely like a really mixed set of characters.
And I kind of like that. I'm looking at their website right now, and each of the characters has a full bio right now.
Yeah.
And a full backstory. Oh no, every character has a fully written backstory already.
I've not checked that out, but I will
Holy
have to.
like paragraphs of information for every character, where they're coming from, what factions they were a part of.
Oh god, yeah.
Like it's Blizzard. They're doing the Blizzard thing. Everything has a world,
Yeah.
and they're gonna fucking fill it full of lore.
Yeah.
Oh. Overwatch is a game that I feel we will continue to talk about for a very long time.
Next month, basically. Pretty much all of next month, more or less.
I just hope I get a chance. I'm going to PAX this weekend. I hope I get a chance to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do, definitely. But yeah, I was on the fence about pre-ordering it and all that shit.
Because
and,
it's pre-orders.
Yeah. Because I hate promoting pre-orders, honestly. I really do.
Well, when you look at what you get out of these pre-orders, it's really not worth it.
Right.
Like, where is it? There's the big purchase button. If you just go for the standard edition, now that's the thing that I really like about it is the price point. This is multiplayer only, $40.
Yeah.
Boom, get the game, play.
Yeah.
The Origins edition, which is the one that you were talking about, $60. You get 5 new skins if that's important to you. Although the overgrown Bastion looks really fucking cool. He looks straight out of a Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
And then the digital goodies, let me list them off for you. You have a baby Winston pet for World of Warcraft, an Overwatch card back for Hearthstone, Mercy's wings as armor in Diablo 3,
Yeah.
6 character portraits in StarCraft 2. And then the only one that's worth a damn, Tracer as a hero in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
If you play Heroes of the Storm still.
Yeah, I do from time to time.
I mean, sure. If you really want to. Personally, I don't think any of that is worth the extra $20.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you want to go whole hog, there is the Collector's Edition,
God.
which includes everything that was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all of the pre-orders include a special skin for Widowmaker and early access to the open beta. You get all 21 heroes. The Collector's Edition comes with a physical Soldier 76 statue. It's 12.8 inches high.
Jesus.
A visual source book, the full soundtrack.
Ooh.
That's what you get over top of the Origins Edition.
Oh, okay.
And I do not see a price on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much does it cost? I feel like that's...
PC, United States. This edition is not available digitally. Go to your retailer. Let me look for you. That will set you back $130.
I was gonna guess 120 actually.
Yeah, 130.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not saying pre-order, but I am very hopeful for this game.
Yeah.
I'm very upset I didn't get to play it.
Hey man, like I said, either PAX or 2 weeks later when the open beta happens.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Goddamn. Yeah, I can't fucking wait. That game is gonna be our TF2 where we're gonna be playing that shit almost every day. Yeah.
I feel like it. Yeah. Well, and it's so visually striking too. Yeah, everyone's gonna make the comparisons to TF2, but really the class-based, objective-based shooter really has no other competition. I welcome competition to TF2.
Yeah.
TF2 is still good, and I go back to it from time to time, but it just doesn't keep my attention
Right.
like it used to.
Yeah.
It's man. So that's a very cautious, not very cautious, but very optimistic on that game.
Yeah. God, I've been fucking gushing about it for the last like 3 days.
Would you call it the most innovative shooter you've played in years?
No. There's only one title that has retained that. God damn it.
But after a while, never mind. My brain just fell apart there. Anything else you've been playing?
No, that is about it. Those just been those 3 games I've been playing over the weekend.
Okay. We do not have a lot of news, but let's transfer into that.
Well, we don't have a lot of people here.
Well, yeah. E3 is starting to get stapled up and put together.
Mm-hmm.
We now know that Monday at noon will be Microsoft's E3 press conference. And then at 4 on Monday is also Ubisoft, so slot those in. This is coming Monday, which is the day after Sunday, which will have EA and Bethesda officially.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, Bethesda's having another one, so everyone's thinking, the word on the street, the hey diddle diddle, is that, listen, they might be announcing the next Elder Scrolls already.
If they don't, they'll definitely be
Possible.
talking about Far Harbor for sure. Like maybe a little bit more detail.
Far Harbor will be out by then.
Oh, well, fuck.
Yeah. Far Harbor will be out and you will be playing it.
When does that come out?
Soon.
Okay. I mean, I have the season pass, so whatever. I mean, when it comes out, I'll see my Fallout updating. I'll be like, okay, let me just take a break from Overwatch to play this for a little.
Yeah. It'll be out real soon. I don't see it right now, but it will be out before E3.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there's some hubbub going on with Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto's producer, Leslie Benzies, is suing Rockstar for $150 million. Rockstar has countersued back. Benzie was right up there with. He was a former Rockstar North president. He was up there with the brothers who ran it. And Rockstar has issued a statement. Leslie Benzies was a valued employee of our company for many years. Sadly, the events that culminated in his resignation ultimately stem from his significant performance and conduct issues. Despite our related efforts to address and resolve these issues amicably, both before and after his departure, Leslie has chosen to take this route in an attempt to set aside contract terms to which he previously agreed on multiple occasions. His claims are entirely without merit and in many instances downright bizarre, and we are very confident this matter will be resolved in our favor. A core ethos since Rockstar's inception has been the concept of the team. It is deeply disappointing and simply wrong for Leslie to attempt to take personal credit for what has always been the tremendous efforts of the entire Rockstar team, who remain hard at work delivering the most immersive and engaging entertainment experience we can for our fans. We do not intend to comment further on this matter. So basically,
Skip to the end.
he was one of the original members. The two brothers and him were all presidents.
Okay.
And he is suing for profit sharing, which he believes he was pushed out of. And this is, let's see, Benzie specifically. Okay, Rockstar issued a statement to Kotaku about Benzie's sabbatical. He had taken a sabbatical shortly after Grand Theft Auto 5 originally released. We're not talking about the PC and console re-release.
Okay.
And he tried to come back, and then he retired. And this is an issue from Rockstar talking about that. When attempting to resume his duties upon conclusion of his sabbatical on April 1st, 2015, Mr. Benzies found himself unable to enter the Rockstar North office because his facility's access device had been deactivated. After being let inside by building security, Mr. Benzies was then ordered to leave by Rockstar North office manager without reason.
Jeez.
So he's suing because he's claiming he's not getting any of the profits that he deserves from Grand Theft Auto 5. And he was basically their big software guy. Like, he got their shit running.
Okay.
And there's been numerous statements and interviews where he basically he came in, troubleshot, and basically got Red Dead Redemption working.
Oh, shit.
At least working to the point where they could release it and then patch it later.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an interesting little tiff between these people.
Huh. Ooh. Jeez.
Well, you don't really hear a lot about Rockstar's internals. Like, I'd never even heard of this guy.
That's true. Yeah.
That's what makes it interesting to me, because you do not hear about the internals of Rockstar.
Yeah.
Yet here we are. Ooh, it's gonna be neat.
Interesting.
Yeah. I will keep an eye on that one. So Blizzard services went down for quite a bit of time
Okay.
due to DDoS from an unknown hacker group.
That's right. Yes, I remember hearing about that.
This very closely, nearly coincided with the closing down of that large private server we reported on last week. So some hacker group has stepped up and claimed that they had done it, that they were responsible, but not everyone's 100% positive on that.
Okay.
It's just, yeah. Everything, you could not access any of your Blizzard shit. It's all back up and running, obviously, since you're able to play Overwatch.
Yeah.
But
that happened just before it, too.
yeah, and props on them for getting that turned around so quickly.
Yeah.
But, you're all still you're vulnerable. As a web-based company, you're fucking vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying this had anything to do with that other server, but it might have. Not ruling it out, but
Yeah.
yeah, just be careful, kids.
Okay.
Let's see here. Final Fantasy 15 director has come out and said it is Final Fantasy 15 will be make or break for the franchise. If Final Fantasy 15 doesn't sell like gangbusters, it might be the end of Final Fantasy. If you believe that one, I got a bridge to sell you.
Yeah, right.
A lot of directors have been coming out and saying this lately. Like, this is make or break for this giant franchise that you love. And at this point, it just feels manipulative.
Yeah, it's because it's basically saying we won't make any more Final Fantasy games. Go out and buy this one. Like you have
And
to,
you
otherwise.
have to, if you want more of them,
Yeah.
go buy this one. Fuck you. Make a good one, and we'll just buy it.
Yeah.
Like have confidence in your product,
Yeah.
in your project, in your creative teams. Don't try to fucking manipulate your customers.
Mm.
Oh, oh, don't do that. Let's see. GameStop is launching a full publishing division.
Oh yes.
So yeah, this was news earlier in the year. Let's see, what's the one company? Oh, Insomniac has already signed with them, and they have a game coming out called Song of the Deep.
My God. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Insomniac has a song, Song of the Deep.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out this summer. But they've also signed with Ready at Dawn, which is a company that brought us The Order 1886, Tequila Works, which brought us Deadlight,
Mm.
and Frozen Byte, who brought us Trine.
Mm.
So they claim to be more of a smaller indie publishing house. Not that they would have any say in the content or the creative process,
Yeah.
but they would just bring it to people, much like a Dave Volver or an Adult Swim Games.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's just interesting because they're also a brick and mortar store that is doing publishing now. And with certain other big name companies suddenly leaving the publishing business and that pool of resources starting to kind of dry up in some places,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what kind of a stance GameStop takes on this. Is there ever going to be a game where you can only get it at GameStop physical because they're the ones publishing?
Yeah. Will they be upset if other people are are selling used games of their games?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it are they going to put a chip in it to where if it doesn't detect your fingerprints as the purchaser, it'll fucking just vaporize?
Yeah.
No, buy a new one. Fuck you. As long as they're hands off, I see no problems with this. It'll just
Right.
be really weird the first time I load up a game and I see GameStop flash across the screen.
Wait, you know what? You know what's gonna happen? A lot of
Oh
these
god.
games, they're gonna have a lot of pre-order now for the whatever pre-order
Oh my
bonus.
god, I didn't even.
It's gonna be
No.
3 times worse now that they're gonna be
Oh
publishing it.
no. No.
Pre-order now, get the last level. Only at GameStop. Power of the players. Meh.
I would be okay with them if you did the voiceover.
It's not hard to do that voice. Just be very fucking annoying. I actually hate that. I'm sorry to the person who does that voiceover, but Jesus, I can't fucking stand your voice.
Well, it's a voice that I'm sure he has received numerous feedback on and tailored it exactly how they want it.
Yeah, yeah,
Ugh. Yeah, I mean it's good for more indie publishing houses to exist.
mm,
I'm just cautiously
yeah,
approaching GameStop as a publisher.
yeah.
But hey, they have to do something. They
Right.
have to do something to stay afloat, and
Mhm.
this could end up working very well for them. Last bit of big, well, kind of big, I think kind of weird news. Ken Levine there's an article on Wired that he's working on an interactive Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And because Wired is very angry at my ad blocker, it's not allowing me to look at it.
Oh, tough shit.
They're pieces of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like mixing a movie with viewer agency. And if anyone has played BioShock Infinite to completion, you understand where this is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like a very natural evolution of how he tells stories.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to see what happens with him directing and writing an interactive movie, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
I hope it's not one of those things where the little indicator pops up and you hit on your DVD remote. Like that would be shitty. Like none of those are good.
I don't think I even ever played or watched any of those.
So the film company he's working with is called Interlude. It lets you just seamlessly move between multiple streams of video. They use it in an interactive video of Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone and in Coca-Cola's Hulk versus the Ant-Man Super Bowl commercial. Which the Wired article has links to both of those things.
Okay.
Use the up-down keys on your keyboard to flip channels. Weird.
Huh. I'll have to try that later once we're done.
Yeah, take a look at that. Because I haven't looked at it either.
Okay.
But hey, that's neat and weird things. Go, Ken Levine. You do your thing.
Right. So long as it's not a video game, but using a TV series on the side to try to have more lore behind it. Kind of like fucking
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break.
but the TV series is on the disc.
Right. Yep.
And yeah. Remedy always kind of does that. They're weird.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, okay. So let's take a look.
I don't know, because I enjoyed Alan Wake, and there was nothing like that.
Well, there's like TV shows running in the background, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. But there's not something where you actually have to fucking stop playing the goddamn game to actually watch.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. That's it. That's all I had for news.
Yeah. There's not much other than just more or less the same thing. Stuff that's going on.
Yep.
Continuation. Although Dark Souls 3 is apparently doing very well. Not surprised because...
Doing very well. Selling very well, so...
Yeah. I will eventually get that once I get the Dark Souls 2, because I don't even have Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, you should probably play through that one first, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have... Let's take a look here. Emails. utterlygeek@gmail.com. That's UTTERLYG33k at gmail.com. Send them there when you get them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't got them this week.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Questions?
I blame Steve. He took them all.
Sure.
He took them and ran.
Took them all with him.
Motherfucker.
The other places.
No. Unfortunately, there is not.
Nothing from the chat. Okay.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
I wish I could say I'm off to play more Overwatch, but god damn it.
Yeah. I Yeah, I want that game now.
Hmm.
I want that game. I want that game now. It's my game
You
and I want it now.
you
Can
say
I call
that
JG Wentworth?
you say that now, but wait, once you actually like have it and you play it and you actually play it, you're gonna want it like 3 times harder than. Trust me, man, because holy shit. Uh, anyway, yes, that is all.
Oh, hold on. Breaking news from Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb's Austin Walker reports the upgraded Sony PlayStation 4 is codenamed Neo. It contains an upgraded CPU, GPU, and RAM.
Huh.
So he's got a whole technical breakdown from his sources, which any good reporter will not cite who they're talking to. But looking at it, the CPU compared to the original PS4 had an oct core at 1.6 gigahertz. Neo, who was rumored to have 8 cores and 1.2 gigahertz or 2.1 gigahertz. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The GPU runs 18 logic cores, or I'm sorry, 18 CUs, which is the graphical processing,
Okay.
and 800 megahertz. Neo is rumored to have 36 CUs and at 911 megahertz,
Mm-hmm.
and the DRAM memory would remain at 8 gigabytes GDDR5, but go from a transfer speed of 176 gigabytes a second to 218. So you're talking a little bit of a beef,
Yeah.
mostly in your GPU.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, we're looking at a new 3DS XL situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Womp womp.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. It's going to be a weird E3.
But as much as you have breaking news, we have a breaking question in our chat. Dead MK45 says, for this podcast in Bioshock Infinite, what made the madness start for taking control?
What?
For this podcast,
Uh-huh.
your reference about Bioshock Infinite, what made the madness start for taking control?
I don't even understand what that question is asking.
I don't know, but Steve took it. That's what he did. He took it all, the bastard. That's
Yeah,
why
let's
he's not
say
here.
Steve.
And he's not here, and that's why.
Steve is what made Madness start taking control for what did the thing.
What
Has
did-
anyone
what did-
even been as far to ever want to look more like? That's my question to you, K45.
Okay.
And we will end on that question. If you have an answer, email us
Yes.
at utterlygeek@gmail.com, UTTERLYG33k
Mm-hmm.
at gmail.com. Has anyone ever been as far as to want to look more like?
God damn it.
Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everyone.